just steal?
Napkins for the best.
Bro, it's not even just one, it's a fucking roll, like a big roll.
Let's go!
I can't get enough of it. I swear to God, I'll never fall in love.
Welcome to Electric Spark, where we will give you the inside scoop to entertainment and business industries from weekly guests.
Hello, my name is Eric, and I'm a founder of this podcast.
Hi guys, I'm Emmie, and I am Eric's manager, and I am now a new co-host for Electric Spark.
Welcome to the Electric Spark podcast, where we will be talking about everything that might start a spark of inspiration in your life.
Also featuring in-depth interviews with YouTubers, streamers, business owners, and more. Subscribe now so you don't miss our weekly episodes. Find us on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Spotify at Electric Spark Official and Electric Spark Podcast so that you know when new episodes go live. Let's create a spark. Take a listen and let's get inspired today. So Eric's the founder of Electric Spark and is based off of his Twitch name and his streaming platform. So Eric, you should tell him a little bit about why you started the podcast in the first place.
Well, I started the podcast to get people to achieve their dreams and life ambitions, whether it's being a rapper, singer, graphic designer, to a Twitch streamer. I believe, everyone should achieve their goals, and, not one dream is not achievable as long as you put 110% into it. And this podcast will help you be able to do that with getting different guests from Twitch streamers to CEOs to give you tips and tricks and advice on how to do that. So you'll learn a little thing and learn like some easy steps to get into it, and also what hoops not to jump into. The podcast was going to be by myself as the main host until I asked my manager Emmie to co-host. The reason why is because she's loves to talk and also
I like to talk, but not too much.
I mean, and also the fact that she has good ideas and good questions to ask people than the normal, like, how's your day going, or how how did you build up this company? So she is the brains mostly of this podcast. So
I think that's kind of why you asked me to be your manager, is because I like to plan, I like to organize, I like to think outside the box.
True. Yeah, that is also true. You are very more organized than I am, even though I'm a little sometimes.
I love having a schedule, a set plan on what I'm doing. It makes my life so much easier, especially with school right now. I think, I love to talk. Obviously, we talked about that before. Yeah, and streaming is something I like to do in my free time. I figured co-hosting would be something new and exciting for me to start fresh. I mean, everyone loves a new project, and I think this is a perfect fit.
Stuff about ourselves than the fact that you're obsessed with Starbucks and Chipotle, especially that pink drink. and every single time we go past a Chipotle, it's like a girl and a dog. She like sees a dog and you're like, dog, and it's opposite. It's Chipotle. It's not a dog.
Okay,
And
wait, listen. I mean, what person does not like Starbucks? And the pink drink's just my go-to drink. I drink other things
like
sometimes on
what? Name one
occasion.
other thing that you drink
A caramel
besides
macchiato.
something that's not Starbucks.
Nothing. Diet Coke.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Actually, I haven't been drinking Diet Coke. I've been on a cleanse. I had a pop earlier, but I've been on a
Wait,
cleanse.
you said I'm on cleanse, but you're drinking pop. What kind of
I,
cleanses? I
I
would like
just
to
said
know.
that I haven't been drinking it as much. Or we could talk about the fact that you say you're vegan, but you also eat meat all the time.
Uh,
You're always
uh,
like, Emmie, let's go on a vegan diet.
I
Let's be
mean,
vegan together. And then next thing you know, we go to Chipotle, and what do you get? You get chicken, and
hold
you're
on.
like,
I
let's
get some
pretend
cauliflower.
let's pretend it's turkey, which makes it that makes no sense. It's still meat.
Well, I guess we could talk about other things than my vegan journey. I'll talk about a little bit by myself. I am graduated from USI with a sports manager degree and bachelor's of science. Um, I after I was trying to find a job after graduating, I found like some internships and some retail opportunities. And then I was just like everyone else, like, what can I do on the side? Because they were cutting hours and stuff like that. And I was just like, well, maybe I should start streaming video games because I play them constantly. So I was just like, what is a great hand in hand thing to do is stream while playing video games and try and make some decent side hustle on it. So I did that about 7 days a week while I was working part full time between both jobs, and then also stream about probably 5 to 6 hours a day, sometimes 2 a days if I have the day off. So was grinding for like over a year, trying to get that affiliate, try to achieve the goal as fast as I could, prove others that I was able to do it when no one thought it was possible. Um, and then I started making TikToks, YouTube videos, editing, and surprisingly, one TikTok video went viral, a little bit viral, I would say, out of my TikTok portfolio.
Yeah, explain what TikTok that was.
So we were in our hometown at a mall, and me and Emmie, and she
Yeah,
was
because we
streaming.
live about an hour away from each other. So
Yeah, she was streaming IRL on Twitch, and because she's like, I haven't streamed in a while, so we did that, and somebody, I believe, dared her to eat this dog treat, and so because they were like, I'll give you like 2 subs or something if you eat it, and so I think somebody
I can
gifted two
never
subs.
pass up a dare. Well, I'll just put that out there. I can never pass up a dare.
Well, somebody gifted her 2 subs, and then she was forced to eat it. She's like, "Oh no, I don't want to eat it." But I was like, "You got to. Somebody gifted you 2 subs. You got to fess up to the promise you made," because she didn't think anybody would do it. So
And then I threw up. I
yeah,
didn't throw up. I spit it out because it was absolutely disgusting. It was so dry. If it had a little flavor, I would have been able to handle it, but it was so dry.
well, ironically, it was in a hot dog. It was like a dog treat and a hot dog. I was just like, this is not going to end well. So she did throw up, and then she made a little snippet of, and somebody recorded it, clipped it, and sent it to me, and I made a music video out of it, and then that was the one that went viral.
Yeah, a
And
clip
also,
of me saying that, which I will never repeat again. I've
because
learned
she
my
was like,
lesson.
well, she was just like, I don't get it. What's so funny about it? And then she just heard it, and then she's like, oh, okay, now I get the joke. Now I understand why I think like this.
So Eric and I actually met in college. We were both working for a minor league hockey team together. And then our boss like kind of told us we were paired up together and we had to like direct people in different areas. So we kind of started talking about like us both going to USI, and we both majored in sport management. And then while we were leaving afterwards,
Oh
we were
God.
walking to our cars in the
Oh
same
my God.
vicinity. And then he asked me for advice on a girl. So then I was giving him advice, and I was like, I've literally just met this dude, and he's asking me for girl advice.
Well, well, in my defense, the best advice is if you have a girl problem, you ask the girl. Don't
Ask a
ask
girl,
your
yeah.
guy. Yeah, don't ask your guy friends because they're gonna tell you exactly what you
They're
don't
gonna
want to
tell you
hear.
the opposite. Yeah,
Yes,
that's true.
and
That's very
then
true.
screw up
That's
everything.
why, yeah, that's why when I have guy advice, I always ask my guy friends, just because they're not gonna BS you on that.
Yeah.
But I was like, this is my first time meeting this dude, and he's just asking me for advice. It was so random. Um, but then we actually never had any classes together, although I did help him with most of his homework. So he wouldn't have graduated without me, just so
That is true.
everybody knows that. Yeah.
That is
Um,
true.
yeah. And then I think we just started Snapchatting because we had each other's like Snapchat phone number through our internship. And then we really didn't, I mean, we did hang out. We went to a couple bars together with our friend groups. And then we didn't really like start hanging out until after he graduated and I went home after I graduated because COVID hit. That was when we started actually like hanging out, and because we like live an hour away from each other or 45 minutes, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and that's when we started hanging out. He introduced me to a couple of his friends I'm really good friends with now. And he actually got me into streaming. So I have a dog named Bella. She's my best friend. I love her to death. I got her when I was 16. She's always lived with me, except for like the first couple of years of college. But I do like trying new things. I like to hike, um, zip line. I like to paint. I like to do pretty much anything. If it's new, exciting, I'll try it.
Let's get into some of their serious topics. Usually we'll probably have like 5 to 6 topics we'll talk out that's happened for the month or the week. So our first one is a huge one about charity. A Twitch streamer named by Kayla Sims. She's a big Twitch streamer, has 400,000 followers, and she was streaming Sims 4 and doing a charity event for a transgender law center. Her actual goal was $10,000, but she surpassed that with 15 for one of her streams. She was streaming for about 8 hours. And had like about 94,000 concurrent viewers. Just imagine how much of an impact that does for everyone that's been watching her and that supports her.
One of the main things that she did with that money was she gave it to a charity, which was the Transgender Law Center. She has a lot of trans kids that watches her content, and since she has a massive platform, she wanted to use that platform to give back, which I think is very
Yeah,
noble.
yeah, I think with that kind of community and you have that impact, you do something nice like this. I mean, it can go a long way. Like it can change things. Like instances, they didn't have a uh, tag for transgenders
Yeah. So Twitch,
originally.
yeah, so the Twitch community, they have had tags for like a single player, multiplayer, stuff like that. So the community wanted identity tags to connect with one another. But Twitch had thought like they've wanted to do this for years. They've had petitions for years. And Twitch said that it would most likely lead to an increase for online harassment, which is why they didn't want to do it. So Twitch had explained that they created the system for creators to describe what they were streaming and not who they were or what they stood for. And that was their policy for the longest time. But then they came out with a statement saying that they were wrong for doing that. So the trans community had been requesting for the transgender tag for the longest time. And it was like one of the most popular requests that they've had. And Twitch said that they should have done it a lot sooner. And because of this, like how massive this charity event was, I think that's why they wanted to announce the option
Oh
for
yeah.
them. Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Especially, I also saw that just on that day they just raised 15,000, but for the whole like month of Pride Month, they raised over $800,000, which is
Yeah, which
incredible.
is
Like
crazy. That's
how?
like a lot of money.
Yeah.
And the Transgender Law Center is the largest trans led organization in the United States, and it fights for equitable laws and policies for the transgender community, which I think's an amazing thing to do because um, same sex marriage was legalized like not that long ago, and Pride Month's a
Mhm.
huge thing for the community. So I don't think that was thinking $800,000 like is a lot of money, but I'm actually not that surprised that that community raised that much for
Yeah.
their charity. I'm not that surprised. I think the
Oh,
trans community has a huge impact on Twitch
oh yeah,
now.
definitely. I saw so many charities go around. I mean, like obviously she could have picked anything, like, but she picked the
Yeah,
one she was most passionate about, and
yeah,
um,
she could have like picked any charity that, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of the times some people just choose a random charity to donate to, like
mhm,
huge businesses. They're like, oh, we're gonna donate to this charity just because it kind of points at their
ties in, kind of.
viewpoints. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know. Or it's just something that they've just enjoyed.
Mhm.
But since of her following and the people that watch her content, she wanted to give back to her viewers in a way. And I think that's why she mostly picked that charity, which I think that's an amazing thing to do, especially because she did it because of the people that watch her content.
Yeah, so I want to give a big shout out to her. If you guys haven't already, make sure you go follow her. Her Twitter is and Twitch is a little Simsie, Lilsimsie. Make sure you give her some love, and you know what she's done for the community is a great thing, and also it's made a huge impact for bunch of people that really like wanted this change to happen with Twitch as well.
So, our next topic is Harry Potter on Broadway.
Oh
So if you guys
boy,
don't know, what?
I said, oh boy, I'm ready for this one.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know, I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. I wouldn't say huge, but my dad has like all of the books and all the movies, so I kind of grew up watching it. I never read the books because they're like super thick. I like to read, but I would not want to read that much. Like I
Oh
have to
yeah,
switch topics. Yeah, like
I
I
would
can't do
either.
that.
Too
Um
long.
yeah, exactly.
Give me an
So
audiobook, please.
no, I don't like audiobooks. It's all like I have Kindle Unlimited, so I get like free books all the time because I would spend hundreds of dollars in 1 week. Like I just
Yeah.
go through books so fast.
Oh.
Yeah, so Harry Potter on Broadway will be Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. So the storyline is 19 years after Harry, Ron, and Hermione save the Wizard World, and it's about a new generation of kids attending Hogwarts. And it'll be on Broadway, um, and it will be opening in New York and San Francisco.
So are they gonna get the actual parents right this time? You know, Harry and Hermione together.
I
And Ron.
wish. Okay, that is the one question that everybody always asks if you're a Harry Potter fan. Should Hermione and Harry have been together?
I think they should
Yes.
have, but I
Yes.
didn't write the book.
Yeah, so even my dad and I have this argument all the time because he thinks Ron and Hermione should be together, but he's not a true fan. He's not a true fan. If he was a true fan, he would know that Harry and Hermione should have been together. Even J.K. Rowling said as she was writing it that she wanted Hermione and Harry to be together, but she had a vision for like the end of the books of Hermione and or Ron and Harry to be Ron and Harry to be Ron and Hermione to be together at the end, which I think is just so sad. Ron doesn't deserve Hermione. Even the actors, Emma Watson and Rupert, they even said that if they could predict how that they'd end up divorced. And I definitely have to agree. Hermione and Harry should have been endgame. I'm not gonna lie. They just had a chemistry. Hermione was always there for Harry through thick and thin. Like, they should have been together. I rest my case. Yeah, since I'm a huge fan, I even have a wand that I got is in a package. And it was Alistair Moody. It's his wand, which is unfortunate. I wanted the Elder wand. And then when I go to Universal soon, I'm planning a trip with my cousin. We were talking about getting our own wand where they like pick
the wand for
yeah,
you.
like you go through the process and they pick the wand for you, which I think's amazing. I mean, it's gonna be a lot of money, but it's worth it if you're a Harry Potter fan. Yeah. Just saying.
Our next topic, we're going to talk about what happened a couple weeks ago. So if you don't know by now, there was this big YouTube versus TikTok boxing match. The main event was Austin McBroom versus Bryce Hall. Obviously, hopefully you guys, spoiler alerts if you guys haven't seen it, but I'm pretty sure
hopefully you did because it was good. I mean,
it was really good and entertaining.
Yeah, it was okay. I enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed it.
It's because you liked Vinny Hacker. That's why. And he actually surprisingly won. I didn't think he was going to win, but, these are their own.
Why are you going to tell everybody my secrets?
I
didn't like him. I just enjoyed his fight.
Yeah. Well, Austin McBroom apparently is the owner of Social Cups, was one of the biggest sponsors there.
Yeah, the one who won the last match.
Yeah.
If you didn't know, spoiler, he won.
Spoilers. Hopefully no one's living under a rock by now, but you never know.
I mean, I didn't really know about it until you guys said, like, all my friends said something, and they were like, you want to watch the match? And I was like, sure, I like boxing. I used to box when I was a kid, which was fun. Yeah, so I was like, okay, I enjoy boxing. I'll watch it.
Well, apparently he owns it, and none of the boxers have been paid. None of the music artists like Rick Ross, YG, I think, and Amigos were there. They haven't been paid. The announcers.
Justin Bieber was there, right? Or was that a different thing?
He was at the Logan
okay.
Paul
I knew he was at a fight.
One.
Okay.
Yeah, he was.
I'm getting mixed up.
No, I mean, it was during the same week, though, so I wouldn't. I mean, there was so many fights that happened. But that was interesting, too, how it played out. But he was the owner, McBroom was the owner of Social Gloves, and apparently no one's been paid, and he's been going bankrupt, so we're seeing how that plays out. Hopefully everyone gets paid, especially the fighters. They were training, flying, and, like, going...
they trained. Yeah, they trained for months to get there. Like, they literally trained super hard, and then they all went to. Wasn't it in Florida, right?
Yes, it was in Florida.
The match. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. So they paid their own way to get to Florida.
Yeah, and some of them were
crazy.
from the UK too.
I would honestly, if I perform, if I fought in the match and if I performed, I would be expected to pay the next day. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah.
That was like weeks ago.
Yeah, and still
And
to
they
this
still
day, it's
haven't been paid. Yeah,
been paid.
I would
That
be
was fun.
super mad. He's going bankrupt, Austin?
Apparently, from what people are saying, that he been avoiding to pay people in his house too. So we'll see. I'll
Which
probably
that
stay
kind of
up on
makes
it.
no sense because honestly, like going into the fight, everybody like they're guaranteed a certain salary going
Yeah.
into the fight. Like not even winning the fight, just
Hmm.
participating. They're
Yeah.
guaranteed money. So
Yeah.
I would be more upset by the fact that I'm guaranteed money and I don't get that guaranteed money versus like me winning the fight and getting the extra. Like I'd rather
Yeah.
at least get what I was knew I was gonna get. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I understand that, and also like I feel like if they don't if this all comes in lawsuits, I'm sure
It would be
he's
10
not gonna be
times
able to.
more money. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Because one, you got to pay for your lawyers. Two, you're
Hmm.
probably going to have to pay more so than the original price just because you know you're going to lose. Like,
Yeah.
you go in with an agreement on how much you're going to make um, starting out, just even participating in the fight. And winning the fight, you get hundreds more. And so many people tuned in to watch. Like, there were so many TikTokers, people who people
Can't even
who
say that with a straight face.
I know, right? There's so many people that were rooting for the people who do TikTok and so many people that were rooting for the people who do YouTube that were out there
Hmm.
watching it.
Yeah.
Um, so it's just honestly, it's just kind of annoying that they didn't get the money that they deserved.
Well, even the one of the announcers, he goes by name FouseyTube. He said, "I don't care if I don't get paid, but at least pay the fighters." He's like, they can keep the money. I'll just use that promotion because everyone that was talking was trending on Twitter that night when this happened. So whether you lost or won, you were trending and got exposure. So he was like, "I'm fine with it, just the exposure. If they can't afford to pay me, that's fine." So I mean, I get
That's
that, but
true.
definitely
I
the
totally get that.
fighters should
Yeah.
get paid.
But like going into it, you should have the funds to go through with what you were required to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like going into the fight, you know it's gonna cost a lot.
yeah,
And if you know it's gonna cost a lot, why would you host it? And you're not gonna
yeah,
pay them? Like have somebody else host it.
yeah, or
Host it
fine.
together, honestly.
Yeah,
Like put the funds in together because it's something that they all wanted to do. So do it together if you don't think that you're gonna have the funds for it. So for our final serious topic, we will be talking about college athletes that can finally profit off of their celebrity. Thousands of college athletes across the country weren't allowed to get paid. You say, like, college athletes do get paid. It's mostly towards tuition, living off
mhm,
campus, or housing, or even housing on campus. And then they get a certain amount of money just for food um, throughout the week. But outside of that, they don't make any profits based off of like their name. There's this kid who was such a good basketball player. And so a lot of people came to games based off of him. So he didn't get any of the
yeah,
profits because he was so popular. The university gets all the money, it doesn't go to him at all. The only thing that he would get would be like the money for housing, food, and then it'd cover tuition. So now they get ownership. The NCAA will give ownership to something that they've never done before, which is their own names.
the big thing that's came up was Reggie Bush coming out and demanding his Heisman Trophy. His Heisman Trophy was taken away because he was selling jerseys on the side and also profiting on the side. And the NCAA said, "Hey, you don't get this Heisman Trophy because you did this," which is now he's reaching out to them, say, "Hey, can I have it?" Because now it's approved where college athletes can make money off um, what they're owed. So that's a big, huge deal, and I'm sure a lot of these old NCAA players are going to come out and say, "Hey, I should be owed X amount of money. Where was mine?" Because I've saw it on Twitter. Like the day they announced this, a lot of people were furious about like they got in trouble for this or and fined, and now it's flipped. Which I get it. At the time, you did get dinged for it. At the same time, like a Heisman Trophy, I think you should be able to get it. Something
Yeah.
like that.
So the NCAA has always had restrictions on the dumbest things.
Yeah.
They have like one of the most restrictions, I feel like, personally. The NBA, the MLB, they have their own restrictions for personal things based off of their sport. But for college sports, their restrictions went further than like even the public understands. So they've
Mhm.
threatened the eligibility of athletes who promoted small businesses, fundraised money for healthcare, even accepted offers for free cosmetics on social media. And that's like going a little far for
Yeah.
restrictions. Like even making money based off of like something that doesn't even have anything to do with their sport could put them at
Mhm.
risk. It's just because they don't want athletes to be able to earn any sort of income. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter what it's if it's related to their sport that they're playing or if it's not related. They don't want them to make any money just because they feel like they're giving them money to play, they're giving them money to live. Majoring in sport management, I think, has opened my eyes because as an athlete, I understand wanting to get paid for my name. Like, if I'm bringing in a ton of fans to watch me, I feel like I should get a little profit for that. Um,
Yeah. I
you know what I
agree.
mean? Because it's like
Totally.
going all to the university. Ticket sales are going to the university. Even selling things based off of me is going to the university. None of it's going to me.
Yeah.
So as an
Because you're like,
athlete, yeah, as an athlete, I can understand being upset. But as a college, I can understand wanting to get a little bit of the income
mhm.
because most people don't know this because there's a lot of sports in a university, but the athletic department does not make money. 10 out of 10 times, most colleges, even Division 1, don't surpass. They always go under. And it doesn't seem
Mhm.
like it because sports are continuously like there a lot of people are going to games, a lot of people are doing this, but there's a lot of things that go behind the scenes where like I worked for my athletic department for my college at USI
Mhm.
for 4 years. Ever since I decided to major in sport management. Um, so I got to kind of work behind the scenes and see kind of
Yes.
how they make the money. And they
Mhm.
do a lot of like donations where they like auction off, like they get a bunch of donations and then they auction off for profit specifically for the athletic department. And half the
Yeah.
time to even make money, a lot of athletes have to work the concession stands because the
Mhm.
concession stand money goes straight to those athletes, like to pay for
Yeah.
their tuition, that to pay for their scholarships that they're getting, to pay for all of that stuff. None of the money is going straight to the athletic department. It's literally going straight back to the athletes.
Yeah. Going to yeah, I was about to say go to athletes or
Yeah,
the university. They get paid for their scholarship. So.
yeah, because the baseball team, they always had to work the concession stands for baseball games, like if they're red shirts. It was
Mhm.
just one of the things that they had to do. And same with like soccer, softball players would come in and work. And then for those games, all the athletes would just like switch on seasons when they had to work the good session stands. It was just a requirement that they had to do.
So, what games are you excited for in 2021? There's a bunch of them coming out. I'm
Mm-hmm.
really excited for Halo Infinite. It's been
I
a while since
am
we got a Halo game. That's good.
Yeah, I'm so excited for Halo. So I grew up playing Halo. That was like the only game that I played. I played Halo and I played Sims and I played some like other random games, but Halo was like the main one that I played on Xbox. The normal Xbox, the Xbox
the
360.
big huge.
Yeah, the beginning
Started.
Xbox. Yeah, so that was the one I liked. But then I stopped after Halo 3. Halo 3 was probably my favorite, but Halo 4 it was just trash. I'm excited for there's a new Arc. It's a free DLC. I'm excited for that. I've been into Arc lately. It's kind of
Oh,
like a
I
you're into it, you stop being into it, and then you're into it again. But right now I'm on the
yeah,
into it again. So I
that's
can't
like
wait for
the
the new DLC.
COD, which it's like, oh, they just released a new map, and then you want to play it again. That's what I'm kind of
No.
excited for, but I'm more excited for Battlefield though.
See, with
The
COD, when I bought my PC, I was like, I will never purchase COD, and then I purchased COD,
you
and
probably
there's
buy
only
the
so
new
much you
maps
can
going out
handle.
too.
Yeah, I'm excited for COD. Maybe if people are into it, my friends that I play with, maybe if they're into it, I'll be into it.
Yeah,
But
it
we'll see.
frustrates something new.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so what do you think of the reboots that are coming out, the new ones?
Sometimes it's like the saying goes, it's best if you just leave it alone. But for like iCarly, I could see that. It's like when Rugrats had Rugrats all grown up. I kind of like that show because it showed what happened in the future.
I've
But
never
having
watched that.
the Rugrats reboot, it's basically the same show except it's in 3D. It's literally the same exact script because there's a side
Oh,
side comparison on TikTok and it was literally the same script except they were in 3D mode. And I was just like, this is a waste.
yeah, that's kind
Uh,
of weird. Oh, you know what
uh,
I wish that there was a reboot on? I wish there was a
what?
reboot for Friends. I want to know if
Oh yeah,
or Ross and Rachel are together. I hate that there was just a Friends reunion. I wish there was like a at least one. Like, give me a movie or something to show
yeah.
me like if they're together. Like, what happened to like their kid?
The one I wish would happen would be like Danny Phantom. Like if they rebooted Danny Phantom, that would be the best thing ever. But I heard there was talks about it, but Nickelodeon
I
has
love
just
that
signed
one.
off
I
on
thought
it.
that one. It was like weird because like I feel like I had a crush on Danny Phantom,
On
even though
Danny,
he was a cartoon. But like, did you ever have a
he's a
crush on a
ghost.
cartoon?
I
Like,
mean,
cause I
I know a
did.
lot of people. I mean, a lot of people have crushes on anime characters. Not me
Yeah, it's
personally,
weird.
but
It's like weird to think about that I had a crush on Danny Phantom, but like he was a
yeah.
cute
But
cartoon.
well, imagine you have a crush on a actress, which is not even
That's
like an
true.
actress that's playing somebody that's not even real. So technically, that's kind of
That's
the same
true.
thing.
Like you're attracted to a character.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I wish that there was a reboot on? Okay, so you know for Disney they would intermix like That's So Raven, Wizards of Waverly Place, Hannah
Hmm.
Montana,
Yeah.
stuff like that. They would like have one episode where they like all like come together. Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. I wish that they would do another one when they're all grown up and they all like
Yeah.
hang
That's
out or
what I
something like
wish
that.
they would. Yeah. Like, where are they now? Like, I like those kind
Yeah.
of YouTube videos
I
where
think
they
that would be
show what.
like so fun. At least a movie or something where they just like all meet up. Like it doesn't have to be a TV show. It can just be a movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that would be a cool
What that,
reboot.
What are some movies you really want to see this year? There's
Spider
Batman,
Man.
Spider Man.
Spider Man. Tom Holland, enough said.
Uh,
Tom
Man,
Holland.
is he the best Spider Man? Or have you
You
watched
can't
old
compare
Spider
him.
Man?
Listen, you can't compare him. You absolutely can't compare him. Tobey Maguire, original Spider-Man. He played that part phenomenally. Okay?
Hmm.
For the original
Great.
Spider-Man, okay? He was the perfect actor for that. I could not imagine my first Spider-Man without Tobey Maguire. Second Spider-Man movie. It wasn't the same. It was a little different. Andrew
Yeah.
Garfield was the actor. He was great for that. Like I couldn't imagine Tobey Maguire doing the exact same thing twice. You know what I mean? Like it was
Oh,
different, but it was also like he grew up, you know what I mean, that kind of stuff. He met
yeah.
you know, I couldn't imagine Tobey Maguire doing that twice. So I think Andrew Garfield was a perfect cast for that role, okay? But I could never
Hmm.
imagine Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield being in the Marvel movies. You know what I mean? Like I could never imagine them being in the Marvel movies. I think Tom Holland was the person for that because, one, he's a kid, or you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I think he plays a part perfectly. Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, too old for that. Tom Holland, he's funny. Spider-Man's funny. He's quirky. You know what I mean? I could just never
Yeah.
imagine the dynamic that Tom Holland has with the castmates that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield would have with it. Does that make sense? So I
Yeah.
think you
Yeah.
can't compare
I can see
them.
that too. It's for that
Like,
era, and
yeah, like obviously you're gonna have a favorite Spider-Man, I guess, but I don't think you
yes,
can compare the movies itself because I think they all have different like purposes, if that makes sense.
I am not really hyped about Robert Pattinson playing Batman. I don't see how he could play it,
Robert
but we'll
Patterson.
see. Yeah, Robert Pattinson. I don't know how he's gonna
Um,
do, but
I go
kind of
since
looking forward to it.
I was in theater in high school, I feel like I will give him a chance. But all I keep thinking
Same.
about is of him playing Twilight, like playing
Twilight,
in
yeah, that's
Twilight.
what
You know what I
everyone's
mean?
gonna.
All I keep thinking about is like him being a vampire. Okay, so are there any good songs out right now that you cannot get enough of? I have
uh,
one. I have a lot actually. You want to hear him?
but
Fine Apple by Nick D. He also has a podcast, which is how I first knew about him, was his podcast, him and someone else. I forgot his name. It's super weird. But they do a podcast together and they're super hilarious. But he
I've heard that one
produced
on
Fine Apple,
TikTok.
which is good. Also my ex's best friend, which I play all the time, by the way.
Oh my god,
if I
I've played it
could
one time.
if
I've
I
played that song
could
one time.
that was a good song. It's by Bryn. I found her on TikTok. I love TikTok. Also Olivia Rodrigo's album. It's literally Breakup Central. I love the T. Also,
Oh
speaking of T, I love T Swift. I'm a big
yeah,
T Swift fan. I think that's why I
he
like
is a
Olivia
huge T
Rodrigo.
Swift fan.
Yeah,
It's all we
I
listen
am
to
obsessed with
sometimes.
it. Whenever I am in the car and I've had a little too much to drink, I always, or even sober,
Yeah,
I always scream it to the top of my lungs.
I was like, hold on, we listened to like six T Swift songs,
You
like
gotta have
sober.
a like we were going to Nashville and
Mhm.
we're like we have to listen to country music. Guess what I turned on? Country T Swift.
Oh
You
my
had
god,
to.
that's
It's
probably
like
why.
a must.
Um,
So, what are some
uh,
songs that you like right now?
mostly albums, because all these albums are
That
really good.
that wasn't the question. The question was what songs.
Well,
So, you can
so
say some
all these
songs
songs
and
on
then you
these
can say
albums,
some albums.
uh, Ryan Upchurch, same old, same old. Riley Green. These are some country artists. Behind the Bar, of course, MGK. My ex's best friend. I'll put that down
That's
there.
true. That's true.
And
It's a good
Jawbreaker.
song.
And then
Oh, what's that song
Jay.
we listen to all the time? It's called Gray.
Oh, by
Gray.
Haley Campbell. Yeah,
Yeah,
Haley
that's a good
Campbell.
song.
I
You
love
guys should
that.
listen to it.
She's uh been performing in Nashville lately. So, and she just
Ooh,
dropped a
that'd
new
be pretty
song.
cool.
It is actually called Sandbar. So if you guys want to check that out, make sure you go take a listen on her Spotify. Haley Campbell with Ley, Haley. Um, but yeah,
Cool.
that song's a great song, and she also dropped "Never Been Love." Apparently, it has over 500,000, and she dropped it maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So she's an
Ooh.
upcoming artist. So make sure you check her out.
Okay, so next, I thought it'd be cool if we had some would you rather questions. Would you rather switch bodies with a celebrity or an animal for a day?
Probably celebrity Ryan Reynolds, because then I can actually make people laugh daily and be Deadpool every day. So
I think that question's hard for me. See, if I had to switch bodies with a celebrity, it'd be Hugh Huff, Julian Huff, something like that. I can never pronounce her last name. But if I had to switch bodies with an animal for a day, it would definitely be a dog. Because like I've always wondered what like goes on in like Bella's head, like because some days like she's just like laying down, but some days she's psycho. I'm like, what's going on with you? I feel like I would do an animal because what if one day I become a celebrity? Then I wouldn't have to switch bodies with someone.
That's true.
But switching bodies with an animal is a once in a lifetime opportunity that I would gladly take.
Would you rather know the history of every object you touch or be able to talk to animals?
Be able to talk to animals.
Why is that?
Because why would I want to like know the history behind like touching a mouse? Oh wait, like a computer mouse, not like an actual mouse. I don't know. I've never been a history fan. Like I
Oh,
do
okay.
like knowing facts and like where things come from or like how we got to like where we are.
Mhm.
But I've just never been like a history fan. And I would definitely rather talk to animals because then Belle and I, she's my best friend and I confide in her all the time and I can never tell if she's listening to me or just sitting there
Probably
like
just sitting there.
falling asleep. You know what I mean? So it'd be nice to like talk to animals.
Yeah. I'd probably. It depends on the object. Obviously, probably not a mouse, but if it's like, say, like I go to Iceland and I touch like a street or something, like where did this street start on and why is it named this, and if I knew like what it
Eric,
was, then
there's this thing called Google. You should try using it sometime. See, it's like a
uh,
little app. You can
I'm gonna
download
try about
it.
that.
Sometimes it's also included on your phone.
Oh,
And it's just super quick and easy. You can even do like a push to talk and ask the question and I'll give you an answer.
oh, I might have to
Yeah,
check that
you should
out.
try it sometime. It's a
I have to
whole
check
new
that out.
thing. It just
Oh,
came out.
I gotta say I've never heard of it before. I heard Internet Explorer, with the big E, but that's it. Or Safari, that's it.
Do you believe in aliens? There's a right answer and there's a wrong answer, just so you know.
Probably no. I mean, I know there's
Listen,
other people out there, but I don't think it's
Eric,
like
how
yeah.
can you not believe in aliens? Like, that's just like a thing that you have to believe in. I feel like it's like a part of life. You're telling me you don't think that there's anything, it's literally just us humans out there. That's what
No,
you're
I mean
telling
like
me.
I think it's another set of humans, but I don't think it's like aliens. I wouldn't say
You
they're
think
aliens.
okay, there's no way there's another set of humans because the only other place we could live is Mars, and there's no humans just like chilling on
But how do
Mars.
you know if there's like more intelligent humans out there already on a different planet that's livable?
Humans, scientists have already come to the conclusion that if Earth were to like be unlivable, we'd have to go to Mars. Like, there's no other planet that we could go
Yeah, but they didn't
to
know that
live.
till now because they first said
Yeah,
Mars
that's
was
what I'm
not.
saying. Like, I know, but we have a Range Rover on Mars.
Oh, I know.
So we definitely know that there aren't humans, but I definitely think there are aliens. Like, someone who's undocumented is considered an alien.
Yeah.
What is so crazy about the fact that there would be like aliens somewhere else? Like that
I
aren't
mean,
humans. Like there's animals everywhere, you know what I mean? And we don't speak with them. We have a different language.
yeah.
So I don't think that there's this like big green guy like on a planet somewhere, but I definitely think that there's like something other than us out there. I'm open
Well,
to
I
the
mean,
idea.
I agree to that. Like, but when you said aliens, I'm thinking about the
The big
traditional,
green guy?
yeah, green guy, big head,
No, you don't
black
have to think
guy.
about that. Like, I don't think he's big and green, but I don't think that they come down and abduct us, take us away, drop us back down. I mean, if they did, kudos to them. But, like, I definitely think that there's more than just us out there. There has to be something else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree to that. Would you rather never have homework again or be paid to do your homework?
Be paid to do my homework.
Really? Why is
Yeah,
that?
because I'm already doing homework. So I'd love to
Not
be
true.
paid to do homework. I did I helped my cousin. My cousin had a test out of a math class. She has to retake it, but in order to drop it, she had to like take a test. I literally sat with her for 3.5 hours taking this math test, and I had to study up on it the night before. So I would love to be paid to do 3 hours of math any day. Do you believe in soulmates?
I believe there's always that one person out there that you either been in a relationship or you're going to, and you never get your mind off them.
Oh, your
Um,
penguin?
Yeah, my penguin.
Your penguins, like, so like some relationships they're birds because they can fly away. But penguins don't fly, so they're like always there, like in the back of your
Yeah.
mind. You're a penguin.
So, in
Kind of
that
cute,
sense,
but kind
yeah.
of sad.
In that sense, yes, I believe that it's like you had like some of the songs I've heard, like "Wrong Place at the Wrong Time," where he talks about how he was dating this girl when he was immature and young and dumb, and he did so many mistakes, and he is older now with and writing the song and talks about how if he would have met her right now, that he would have been a better man and better person, and overall probably better to the girl he wanted to marry, which was probably his first girlfriend, I assume, or his soulmate. I assume he
Eric,
was right about.
do you have a penguin?
Yes, I have.
I have a penguin too. Isn't it sad? See, I believe in soulmates in the sense that your soulmate doesn't have to be your significant other. It could be somebody that it could be a best friend. It could be someone like they don't have to be with you through your entire life. They could be there for a given period just to like kind of like help you move forward, like you said, like wrong time kind of thing.
Yeah,
Um, I definitely think you can have like different soulmates in different lifetimes.
yeah, I believe so too. It's
If there are different lifetimes, I don't know.
that's
I
another
wouldn't know.
topic.
Yeah, that's another topic.
uh, next question is: would you rather meet the love of your life in high school or at the age of 30?
Age of 30.
Why is that?
Because I wouldn't want to date anyone that I went to high school with.
Is
Also,
it?
I feel like even if I met the love of my life in high school, I feel like I definitely wasn't mature enough
Mm-hmm.
to want to go to that next step. So I feel like
Yeah,
if I met the love of my life, if I had met the love of my life in high school, I would have left them. You know what I mean? Like, it would
yeah,
have never turned into something more because I definitely wasn't in the right mindset to be like, oh, I would love to get married to you. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So I definitely think 30 would be my answer just because I feel like I'd be mature by then. But also, if I met the love of my life at 30, I feel like I'd already be married to someone just because I'd be like calling up the people that I was like, hey, if we're single by 28, you want to get married? So it would suck. I'd be already married. I'd have to get divorced within 2 years of marriage just because I'd be like, oh, I met the love of my life. So it'd be a lose lose situation.
so you don't believe in high school sweethearts?
Would you want to switch places with your all time favorite celebrity for the day or somebody that I choose?
Definitely not someone you
Wait,
choose.
let me pick someone to choose. Okay,
Oh
I'm gonna pick my favorite celebrity, male. I'll pick male, just so you
man.
know. It'll be Josh Duhamel. So, who's your favorite celebrity?
Jim Carrey. He's funny as
Wait,
fuck.
okay. So, Jim Carrey or Josh Duhamel? You know who Josh Duhamel is, right?
No, I don't know. I'll have to look
Do you
this
know
dude up.
Safe Haven?
No, I have not.
You don't know Safe Haven? Safe Haven's such a good movie. It has Josh Duhamel and Julian Hugh Huff, whatever. And they star in together. It's kind of like a thriller love story
Oh,
kind of thing. It's
yeah,
like one of my
no, I've
favorite
seen this guy
movies.
before.
Yeah, super
He's in
attractive.
Transformers.
Yeah, he's married to Fergie, or he was married to Fergie. I don't know if they're still together.
One of my favorite celebrities. I would choose.
You wouldn't want to be Josh Duhamel. I feel like you could get anything
No.
you want. Like, he's so attractive. I would just be
Yeah,
like
but
walking around like, "Hi, I'm Josh. What's up? Can I have
yeah.
that seat right there? It's the best seat in the movie theater. Can I have it?" I'd be walking around in random stores, just like being like, "Yeah, you want an autograph? Picture? Hell yeah!"
Well, that could be anybody though.
I guess
Any celebrity that's been in a movie that's notable, I guess. Like Megan Fox. She hasn't done much, and
that's
she's known
true.
for
She's dating, what's his
Your
name?
boy, MGK.
Yeah.
Machine Gun
Okay,
Kelly.
so what's the celebrity you choose? I'm gonna go with, see, I feel like if I pick Taylor Swift, I'm gonna be super biased. So I'm not gonna pick her. I'm gonna go with Blake Lively. That's my favorite.
Jennifer Anderson. There you go.
Anderson or Aniston?
Aniston. My bad.
I would love
Sorry.
to be Blake Lively. Just because
Damn.
she has blonde hair. Jennifer
That,
Aniston has brown hair.
yeah, but she never
She's
ages
so
though. She ages
pretty.
so well.
Yeah, she does. Also, maybe Jennifer Aniston because she'd be in Friends,
Yeah,
and that would
exactly.
be
So I'm surprised you
cool.
picked. Yeah, I'm surprised you picked yours.
But Blake is dating Ryan Reynolds. She's married to Ryan Reynolds. So Blake Lively. I'm gonna go with that. Oops.
This is the end of our podcast, and want to thank you all for listening to our very first podcast. Make sure you check out our video version on YouTube at Electric Spark Podcast, and follow us on all our social platforms, Twitter and Instagram at Electric Spark Official, Electric Spark Podcast, so you know when we have new episodes that go live.
So I also post our Twitch platforms in the description below, and it'll be on the screen right here for our YouTube channel.
This is your co-host Eric.
And Emmie.
Go and be creative today.
Go watch some TikToks, stream your favorite games, paint, draw, hike, play with your dog, whatever you like to do in your free time. Make it your year and be the best version of yourself today. Bye, guys.
Yeah, F is for friends who do stuff together.
U is for you and me.
N is for anything, anytime at all.